Good morning, students. In the previous concepts, we discussed the images formed by the plane mirrors, the various cases we have discussed. And of course, from the plane mirrors, we discussed that image distance is equal to the object distance and image size is equal to the object size. And we have discussed the loss of reflection, angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. All these cases, various cases, angle of deviation cases, and how we locate the image points by using the perpendicular distance concept, and also the images formed between the plane mirrors and the number of images formed when the mirrors are inclined with each other. So various concepts and relative velocity of the image. So all these concepts we discussed, and now we come into the other set of mirrors, nothing but curved mirrors. So we are going to discuss this one. So curved mirrors, from the name itself we can say that if the mirror's reflecting surface is curved, then we call it as curved mirrors. When the mirror's reflecting surface is curved, then we call curved surfaces. One example I want to take, of course daily you might be using the spoon. You see, when you want to see your image in the spoon, you see on this surface and on this surface you will get different types of images. You know, when I am seeing on this surface, you see my image is inverted. When I am seeing this one, it is erected, and of course the size of the image is not equal to the size of the object. When I am moving like that, when I am moving towards the object, that is towards my head, when I am moving away from the head, you know, the different surfaces, because of the different surfaces I am getting different images. You see this surface, it is not plane, it is curved. It is curved. Because of these curved surfaces, you may get different images for different sizes of objects. So this is what you should understand when you are learning the concepts of curved mirrors. Of course, you might have seen even in makeup rooms, they will use the curved mirrors to see the magnified images of the object. Even you might have heard about the shaving mirrors also. So to see the magnified images, they use the curved mirrors. Even ENT doctors, they also use, when they want to see the image should be magnified, then they will use the curved mirrors, of course, and also even in telescopes also. So in all the cases, even in surveillance cameras also, when we are coming to the certain shops, when they want to see the field of the view in a diminished way, there also they use the curved mirrors. So we come across the concepts of these curved mirrors. So the difference between the plane mirrors and curved mirrors, in plane mirrors always we get image distance is equal to object distance and image size is equal to object size. But when we come into the spherical mirrors, image sizes will vary depending upon the size of the position of the object. So that we are going to discuss now. This is curved mirrors. Now, of course, curved mirrors, they are part of the sphere, sphere which is a three-dimensional. Now if I have taken a now you see, this is, for example, if I take a sphere, then of course which is three-dimensional. Now it is having the center, and from center to this point P, I can say it is the radius. Of course, radius, Now I have taken a sphere. For example, I have taken like this a sphere. Now it is a hollow glass sphere. Imagine this is hollow glass sphere. Now this hollow glass sphere I am cutting into two halves. Means this glass sphere, hollow glass sphere I have taken, and I have cut into two halves. Just I have taken one half. Okay. After taking the one half, just you see here, one half I have taken like this. Now after taking this one half, you see I am getting two surfaces. Okay. I am getting two surfaces. This surface S1 and this surface S2. It means, what I can say here, this is a curved surface. Now this is a part of a sphere. I have taken half part. Now we are getting two surfaces. This is a surface which is curved inside, and this is a surface which is curved outside. Okay, it is like a cave, and it is like vexed, means bulged surface, and cave surface. So this vexed surface and cave surface, two surfaces I am getting. Now after getting these two surfaces, for example, now this is a glass, is a part of a sphere. Now for example, if I make S2, this surface silvered, now it is silvered, then what happens? When light falls on this surface, then what happens? It will reflect. It means here the reflecting surface is inside. Reflecting surface is inside the sphere. Of course, I can call this is a spherical. Now as it is reflecting and is a glass hollow sphere, on this side we have silvered it. Inside, when the light falls, it is reflecting. Now it is a reflecting surface. I can call it as a mirror. Now what mirror it is? It is nothing but spherical mirror. There is nothing but curved mirror. Okay, why I am calling it as spherical mirror? Because this is a part of the sphere. From where I have taken, this is a part of the sphere. So it is nothing but spherical mirror. Now when the light rays are traveling, and after that they are reflecting in this way. When they are reflecting in this way, then what I can say here, reflecting surface is inside. If the reflecting surface is inside, then we can call that mirror as concave mirror. Now I can call it as concave. Concave. What is this meaning of concave here? Cave, nothing but it is like a caved surface, means, okay, which is deeper, and con means width cave. So I can say this is con means width, and cave, with cave. So we can say this is concave mirror. This is a concave mirror. So the reflecting surface is inside the sphere. Now it's a spherical mirror. Now I can say, I can take another one also. That is, for example, I can take another one. Like this same surface, another surface I will take. I will take another surface. I will take another surface. Now again, S1, S2. Same. Now it is a part of a sphere. Now sphere, from this I have taken half part. In that, what I am doing? Again, S1. Just I have silvered S1. Now this glass sphere, a part of this glass sphere, I have taken one part of glass sphere I have taken. Inside, just I have silvered. When I have silvered inside, then what happens? This surface, this outer surface is going to become the reflecting surface. Means, if light falls, it won't pass in this way, but if light falls in this, then what is going to happen? It may reflect in this direction. This is what we should understand. It means here, this reflecting surface, which is a part of a sphere, again I can call it as a spherical mirror. But here, one fundamental point you should understand, when light falls here, it is reflecting outside the sphere. Okay, now how this sphere is there, how this surface is there, this surface is vexed or it is bulged. So I can call it as vexed surface. It is with vex, so I can call it as convex. And of course it is a very good reflecting surface. I can call it as convex mirror. So you are understanding two mirrors here, concave mirror and convex mirror. So when reflecting surface is inside, then we can call it as concave mirror. When the reflecting surface is outside the sphere, then we can call it as convex sphere. So after taking a hollow glass sphere, so after taking it half, if you silver it outside, then it is going to become concave mirror. If you silver it inside, then it is going to become convex mirror. So you are going to get two types of curved mirrors. That is nothing but two types of spherical mirrors. From there, because of these spherical mirrors, as I said earlier, in the spoon, how you are getting different images, inverted images, erected images, enlarged images, diminished images, all these types you are going to get because of this type of mirrors. This is what the magic you see when you are seeing a spoon. Okay, we'll get a fun also. Okay, now we'll discuss the important terms related to this concave and convex mirrors. Now, two mirrors you got here, concave and convex mirrors. But before we understand how different images are formed, but we should understand the fundamental terms related to the mirrors, so that after understanding the fundamental terms, then we can understand how different images are formed. Okay, that we are going to discuss now. Now, what is this mirror? Okay, it is silvered from outside. Then what is this mirror? This mirror is nothing but concave mirror because it is silvered outside. Okay, now I am taking here this end and this end. This is AB. AB is the spherical mirror. This is a part of the sphere. Okay, now if I take this AB, now I am going to take the geometric center of AB. From here to here, if I take the geometric center, this geometric center I am calling it as P. So what is P here? P is nothing but pole. P is nothing but pole. Pole means pole or vertex. Some people call it as vertex also, or we can call it as pole. This is the pole. Means the geometric center of AB. This is what you should understand. And now here I am going to get a point here, that is C. What is C here? C is nothing but center of curvature. What is center of curvature? You should understand this one. What is C here? C is nothing but center of curvature. Center of curvature means, just I can say that center of curvature now center of curvature means so now what is this C? C is the center of curvature, means this is the point, that is this is the center of sphere. Actually this is the point which is the center of sphere of which this spherical mirror. What is the spherical mirror? AB. AB is a part of it. That is what you should understand. That's why I can call it as center of curvature. Center of curvature means what? C is the part of the sphere of which the spherical mirror is a. So C is the center of sphere of which the spherical mirror AB is a part of it. Now what I am going to do? I am going to extend, I am going to draw an imaginary line which is joining C and P. I am going to draw an imaginary line which is joining C and P. What is this imaginary line? This imaginary line is called as principal axis. So this imaginary line which is joining C and P is called as principal axis. And from the geometry again you can understand, if this is the center, okay, this is a point I have taken on the surface of the sphere, and from geometry, from C to P is nothing but radius. This is radius. So CP, R is nothing but radius of curvature. Radius of curvature. That is nothing but distance from CP. CP is equal to R. So from C to P, this is, distance is nothing but, that is the radius of curvature R. Now another term I want to introduce, that is nothing but aperture. What is this aperture? Aperture means the distance between the two endpoints. What are the two endpoints of the mirror? What are the two endpoints of the mirror? the two endpoints of the mirror is nothing but one is A and another one is B. The distance between A and B, so this part, the distance between A and B, of course, this is what I can say, from A to B, this is aperture, means the distance between the endpoints of the spherical mirror A and B is called as aperture. This is what I can tell you. Pole, that is nothing but geometric center of AB, and C, center of curvature. Another one is the principal axis, radius of curvature, and of course CP is equal to R. And now this is aperture. Okay, these are the terms which are, of course, even if you take convex mirror, now this is convex mirror. But if you take convex mirror, of course, the center of curvature will be outside that reflecting surface, and now this is the pole. Now this is the principal axis, center of curvature is on that side. This is the pole, and of course I take this is AB. AB is the spherical mirror, and now it is silvered inside, so this surface is going to be the reflecting surface. Now this is the center. Now where is the center of curvature? Center of curvature is not on the reflecting side. It is on the back of the reflecting side. The center of curvature is there, and radius of curvature is also like this. Okay, this is about convex. Okay, this is about concave. So this is about convex mirror. So these are the terms which are related to understand. This is the pole, and this is the C, center of curvature. Center of curvature means this is the center of sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part of it. The imaginary line which is joining C and P is called principal axis, and the distance between C and P is called radius of curvature. And similarly we can discuss on convex mirror also in the same way. Okay, these are the terms which are related to understand the that is before we understand the images formed by the mirrors, that is concave and convex mirrors. Thank you.